Tyson Fury, as some of you may know, is a big favourite of mine. I think he's a great entertainer. I think he's exactly what the sport needs. I think he's a very, very good boxer. I think his skills are underrated as a boxer. I think he's got a lot going for him. I think the most amazing thing about him, which I've waxed lyrical about previously, is how young he is and how many decent people he's beaten for his age. People talk about padded records, and we've recently seen that with Dennis Boystov, being absolutely exposed at 33-0. But, I guess most heavyweight prospects have a padded record. But if you look at the guys Fury's beaten, Steve Cunningham, Kevin Johnson, Derek Chisora, these are a reasonable level of heavyweight for a man his age. And it's quite remarkable how, sort of far he's come for someone still at a relatively early stage of his career. He's announced today on Twitter that he is going to be returning to the ring. He had previously announced his retirement. I think it was always a retirement to take with a slight pinch of salt. Fury's known for his antics on Twitter, and to be honest, it would have been a very premature end to a career that could have brought in a huge amount of income to the Fury household. So, yeah, it was a kind of retirement that few probably genuinely believed would be an actual retirement. But nonetheless, good to hear he's going to be back. He's also published a list of opponents that he is looking to face in the new year. He's planning to go into training in January with a view to a date in March. And the list of heavyweights he's published is quite predictable, really. So you've got Arreola and Stavern, you've got Jennings and Wilder, you've got Klitschko and Chisora, and you've got Charr. There's been a slight backtrack from Team Fury since that tweet went out, as we're told that Frank Warren made a substantial offer for the Chisora Fury rematch. And obviously Fury had tweeted that he wanted Chisora on his Christmas wish list. But Peter Fury released a statement today saying that they didn't want to fight Chisora. It's the wrong direction. They want to go international rather than domestic level. Sort of already beaten Chisora wasn't the right fight for them at this point. Which, I guess is understandable. Chisora, it's kind of a lose-lose fight for Fury. If he beats him, well, he's already beaten him. If he loses to him, it's a massive, massive setback. So, understandable that fight is not going to go ahead. So it looks like he's going to be targeting an American opponent. He certainly talked about the likes of Arreola, Jennings, Wilder. I think these fights are all quite big risks. The one that I see him taking, this is a little prediction from myself here, is Manuel Charr. I think it's likely that we could see a Fury Charr match set up for March time. Charr is fighting James Toney in December. If you are interested to hear more thoughts on that, please check my videos. I've done a preview and breakdown on that inspired a few comments from Toney fans. But I've predicted that Charr will come through that fight and be the first man to stop James Toney. Charr obviously believes he was stopped prematurely in his fight with Klitschko, and he's desperate to get back to that level. To be fair to Charr, he seems to be relatively fearless in terms of the opponents he takes on. He's already fought Klitschko at quite an early stage of his career. He was game for fighting David Haye in a very risky fight before Haye pulled out. And I don't see Haye as at all concerned about fighting... I don't see Charr at all concerned about fighting Fury. I think they're both rated in terms of the rankings, and the winner of that would be in a good position to move towards a title. So I view that as the fight. Namely, because I think Charr possibly doesn't have the danger that a Jennings or a Wilder could cause Fury. I'm not saying Charr doesn't have power. I don't think he's got like the savage power of a Wilder. I don't think he's quite as dynamic as like a Jennings, or that's it. I think it's a very winnable fight for Fury. It's a fight I'd pick Fury to win against, and I think that's one that's going to happen. But the news is that Fury's definitely going to be back. So training in January looks like a fight for March. slightly interesting about Chisora. It's just weird how he kind of put Chisora on his wish list and then had to sort of backtrack on that. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure they will have a rematch, but it will probably be a bigger fight in the future. I think it's going to be Manuel Charr. Peter Fury said that he's looking at, Arreola, Stiverne, Wilder, Jennings, those sort of big American names, and we'll see. But I view those as quite risky fights, and I think for someone like Fury, who's been inactive for a little while now with all the Hay shenanigans, he'll want to just get in the ring, blow off some steam, said the ring rust. I think either he'll have a warm-up fight against a nobody, but I think Manuel Charr is a very, very distinct possibility. But that's my thoughts. Please leave yours below. Who would you like to see him in against? Who do you think we'll see him in against? What are your thoughts on the Manuel Charr fight? Do you think that will happen? Who would you pick in that fight? Thanks for watching.